Classification is a very serious matter in the correction system. Using factors such as gang affiliation, criminal sophistication, threat level, deviant status, type of crime, protective custody status, level of vulnerability, age, and general demeanor, we determine which inmates may safely be housed with which other inmates. The primary goal of classification is to establish a safe housing situation for all inmates. Because an inmate's life circumstances are ever-changing, classification must also be fluid and not remain static. To this end, we continuously evaluate inmates to determine that they are still correctly classified and housed. Major life changes, such as a new charge or dropping out of a gang, can instantly change an inmate's classification. To demonstrate the necessity of classification, in the following scenario, you will be role-playing a deputy sheriff with Crimeville County. You have been assigned to bailiff duty at the Crimeville County Superior Court. This means you are responsible for keeping order in the courtroom, but it also means, however, that you are in charge of and responsible for all in-custody inmates within the court, as well as those housed in your department's holding cells. Many courtrooms, such as the one you work in, have their own holding cells in the hall behind the court. You work in Department 31, and this makes you responsible for 4 small holding cells. In an emergency, you could fit 3 inmates in one cell. However, in normal situations, each cell should not have more than 2 inmates. Lunch is approaching, and you have 8 inmates on your afternoon court calendar. They will be here soon, and you will need to know where they're going to go. Review the files of the 8 inmates that must be housed in your 4 cells. Determine which 2 inmates should be housed together in each cell. Use what limited information you have available in the inmates' files to classify and house them in a safe manner. Beware, housing the wrong inmates together could result in an inmate being assaulted or even killed on your watch. Read each inmate's file carefully before choosing whom you should house them with. Remember, gang affiliation is always an important factor when choosing housing, but not the only factor. You have an assorted bag of inmates this afternoon. Although I will discuss each of them briefly here, you will need to review each of their individual files in order to determine how to classify them correctly and whom to house them with. The first matter on the docket for the afternoon is the people versus Jasper Woodrow. Jasper is what people refer to as state-raised youth. Although nearly 30 years old now, this bipolar gang member began his criminal career as a juvenile. Take special care when housing someone this dangerous. Read William Garza's file very carefully. Some of this 52-year-old's previous violations may yield hints regarding this inmate's housing accommodations. Although young, Kiefer Montana is a gang member with a very serious rap sheet. Be sure not to forget about his gang affiliation. Joel Straton is a young man whose diverse criminal career started when he was also quite young. Though being a self-proclaimed blood, few of Andre Wilson's charges have actually ever been tied to gang activity. This does not mean, however, that it would be wise to house this young man in a cell with a rival gang member. Regardless of the fact that Kevin Black is only on the docket to answer a bench warrant, this 37-year-old Crip has an extensive record worth familiarizing yourself with. 38-year-old Donald Williams, however, another Crip, is currently facing charges that could make housing him difficult. And lastly, be sure to review the record of 24-year-old Eric Fontaine, whose gang allegiance could make him a target in many of your cells. Good luck and have fun.